the league has lost, as we've talked about, $40 million.
After Caitlin Clark's first season, the WNBA loses a staggering $40 million in the playoffs, causing chaos. To be honest, I am ecstatic to witness this demise. Thanks to Clark's arrival, the league achieved unprecedented heights and was making billions of dollars. However, everything fell apart as soon as she was eliminated from the playoffs, plunging the WNBA's finances. This kind of loss feels entirely justified, in actuality. For more fantastic content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Thank you.
What entitled players in the WNBA just can't seem to understand is, you get what you put in, and right now, you are getting exactly what you deserve. All season, you have complained about Caitlin.
By packed stadiums and selling jerseys like crazy, Caitlin essentially carries the entire league. What does she receive in exchange? Racial accusations and a salary that most likely wouldn't even cover a few months' worth of coffee. The WNBA had a fantastic opportunity with her, but they choose to handle it disrespectfully. Don't panic if you're wondering how severe this financial blow actually is. I've prepared all the numbers for you.
Thoroughly covered that they've lost $50 million, a season, or they were expected to lose $50 million as a league this year. Reports are it's $40 million, not 50. The
instant Caitlin Clark gathered her belongings and bid adieu, the WNBA immediately lost an incredible $40 million. Yes, millions vanished in a single night. Give that some thought. Due to a single player. Additionally, the ratings fell like a rock over a 50% decline. Caitlin Clark wasn't just another athlete, so anyone who believed the WNBA was finally on the rise was given a harsh wake-up call. She was the driving force behind the league's survival.
All that negativity, it has come back to haunt you, as ticket prices for the WNBA playoffs are damn near being given away for
and the arenas. Completely abandoned towns. Stadiums were crowded during Caitlin Clark's first season, as if she were the star of a Beyoncé tour. So where did all that money and effort end up? Absent. Attendance fell by 50% after she left. When you consider that fans were smashing records and flooding in just a year ago, it's unbelievable. In her debut season, Caitlin's squad, the Fever, drew an incredible 34,715 spectators, shattering a record that had not been broken since 2001. However, the excitement faded more quickly than a donut at a police convention as soon as she was removed from the picture.
And in front of the 16th sellout this year, here's a look at the total attendance. And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clarkonomics, my friend. Clarkonomics.
And the merchandise. Everyone was wearing Caitlin Clark's jersey throughout her debut season. They were flying off the shelf. Sales of WNBA items increased by a staggering 61% as a result of Caitlin Clark's impact and controversy. It's more than just a boost. It's a full-blown explosion. However, those figures plummeted as soon as Caitlin revealed she was going to Europe. Sales plummeted. Sponsors and retailers were left frantically attempting to make sense of it all. The loss of a player wasn't the only thing. The golden goose was lost by the WNBA. Fans disappeared as the stadia filled up.
929,000 ESPN announced, which is 50% less than the Fever's Game 1 against the...
In actuality, though, Caitlin was doing more than just scoring points. She was making a good living. By herself, she turned the WNBA into a profitable enterprise. Record-breaking TV ratings, packed arenas, and jerseys flying off shelves. She was the reason behind it all. All of a sudden, folks who had never even watched a WNBA game were paying close attention. And Caitlin's enormous impact was the driving force behind it all. She is really active on social media. Nearly 2 billion views, a fourfold increase over the previous year. She elevated every game she participated in to the level of a Super Bowl, making women's basketball a must-see on television.
A little bit of Angel Reese when she played Caitlin Clark, but everybody else playing in 4,000, 5,000 seat arenas until Caitlin Clark came in. Yeah, viewership was up. Yes, they signed a new TV deal, which is going to pump $2 billion into the league, but they're still projected to lose.
And the money was coming in. After Caitlin Clark joined the league, the WNBA earned an incredible $2 billion. The league was suddenly making money for the first time in what seemed like forever, with millions coming in from sponsorships, TV deals, and ticket sales. They even had more than 2.3 million supporters overall. Caitlin transformed basketball, not just played it. She elevated the WNBA reactions from fans and players to levels the league had never even dreamed of since its founding, turning it into a financial powerhouse.
A WNBA record 1.84 million viewers to her first playoff game against the Connecticut Sun on September 22nd while competing with an NFL Sunday. She followed it up with another record audience of 2.54 million.
Here's the really exciting part. Caitlyn was obviously a superstar, so you would think the WNBA would have treated her as such. Incorrect. Rather than acknowledging her as the league's future, they treated her like any other player. In the meantime, rivals and detractors were busy leveling unfounded charges of racism. And the league said nothing. No defense, no genuine recognition of her actual value. The saddest part was that they only gave her a little portion of what she truly merited. Is it quite shocking that she turned to face Europe and replied, "Yeah, I'll take the real money over there"? They didn't come with hollow promises because they understood how valuable she was.
Season. You have complained about Caitlin Clark. All season, you have allowed your jealousy, your bitterness to cloud your judgment. All season, you have allowed your emotions to take over, which got in the way of what could have been an unbelievable year that set the foundation for the future of the WNBA.
They were dealing with a burgeoning celebrity. However, the WNBA became mired in intrigue and diversions rather than celebrating her achievement. Instead of giving Caitlyn the credit she deserved, the league had to deal with charges of racism and rumors, most of which were stoked by players like Angel Reese and Alyssa Thomas. Known for stirring things up, Angel even went after Clark's supporters, accusing them of racial disdain in what this means for the WNBA's future, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and Stephen A. Smith. While applauding the guy who was revolutionizing the game, the league neglected to concentrate on what actually mattered.
I can never remember any male athlete ever entering into a new league and being treated like this. To me, what's interesting about what's going on right now is none of her teammates are standing up for her because I don't think they like her either because they don't like the fact that she's white and straight. She's actually the minority here and she's being treated unfairly.
Talk about creating a mess where none was necessary. The league allowed the entire season to devolve into a political circus that the media simply couldn't get enough of, rather than taking use of Caitlyn's extraordinary talent. Caitlyn's record-breaking arena-filling performances were completely overshadowed by some strange off-court turmoil. Everyone seemed to be too preoccupied with diversions that shouldn't have been a part of the story in the first place to notice that she was breaking records and lighting up venues.
She said it's just so crazy because the growth that Caitlyn has brought to the game, the sheer amount of money that she's making these teams, people are having to move their venues when she comes to play, and she's getting paid like $75,000 a year. She should be one of the top paid players in the world just for the sheer number.
To make matters worse, Caitlyn wasn't even given the compensation she was due. It's absurd. This player is in charge of a 48% rise in attendance, nearly 10,000 spectators every game. She is paid peanuts, though. Sales increased by 61% from the prior year as her games were sold out and merchandise bearing her name rushed off the shelves. You would think the league would be giving her money, but instead they were too busy profiting from her fame to give her a reasonable salary. Caitlyn, being the astute player that she is, declared, "I'm out," and brought her skills to Europe. WNBA fans were taken aback, but can you really blame her? Despite the fact that she was setting records, the league treated her like any other player. She even disclosed in interviews that the league failed to call fouls despite players physically abusing her. In a position that she was practically carrying on her back, she felt uncomfortable.
The league needs Caitlyn Clark, and they are preparing to offer her a massive deal. But is it all too little?
But hold on, there's more. Angelbert wasn't done using all of her skills. She also declared that the regular season would expand from 40 to 44 games beginning in 2025 and that the Golden State Valkyries would be added as a 13th team. Extra games and a new team are all attempts to show that the league is still doing well. However, without Caitlyn Clark, everything seemed like flimsy repairs on a collapsing building. Yes, more teams and Final Thoughts games sound thrilling. However, they were facing the unpleasant reality head-on. The WNBA's efforts to develop a viable financial model were becoming increasingly precarious in the absence of Clark. There you have it, a league frantically attempting to salvage a collapsing ship. It will be a difficult journey until Caitlyn Clark is brought back.
Sources say that it's a 6-year deal that could be worth more than $100.
By packed stadiums and selling jerseys like crazy, Caitlyn essentially carries the entire league. What does she receive in exchange? Racial accusations and a salary that most likely wouldn't even cover a few months' worth of coffee. The WNBA had a fantastic opportunity with her, but they choose to handle it disrespectfully. Don't panic if you're wondering how severe this financial blow actually is. I've prepared all the numbers for you.